what we'll do with our members coming through the Elements program is, or the Elements Foundation, on-ramp, whatever you want to call that, is the last day, what we'll do is we'll bring them into the class that they want to attend. And the coach will bring them in, introduce them, and not like introduce, here's Gary, his first day ever. Yay, Gary. We'll do that, welcome Gary, and then have Gary do his own workout. We'll have the coach stay with them, and the coach coaches them through the workout so they feel even another sense of like, hey, we're bringing you underneath our wing. We're protecting you. We're here to hold your hand if needed along the way, but there's nothing to be scared of, and we care for you. We want this to be a successful experience for you. One of the other things we do in general is we try to make the early stages of learning, the early stages, as rewarding as possible, as enjoyable as possible. I've talked about this before, but the early stages of learning should not be about the points of performance. It should not be about improving movement. It should not be about getting healthier. It should be focused, those are a component of it, but the majority of the focus should be on enjoying the process. Yeah. You have a lifetime to get people to move better and get healthier. You have a very short window to let somebody see if they decide whether they are enjoying this or not.
What advice, because you have a pretty substantial sort of on-ramp Elements program here, a little bit because you've got the freedom and flexibility to be able to have a coach and do it and all that stuff. I know a lot of gyms don't have that freedom. So is there a version of that for the gyms that when your first class shows up, it's your first class and you're in class with everybody else? And that's just sort of like what they're able to do. Is there any way that you can imagine with that same sort of idea of like showing that we care, showing that you're in a way showing that you're safe here and that it's okay that, that we know that you don't know what you're doing, but we're going to take care of you. Like, are there any tangible ways that an affiliate can sort of bring that idea in without having like the extra coach or the 3 weeks of on-ramping?
There absolutely is. And it's probably not the answer people would expect. It's, what are you programming that? What's your system of programming? What do your workouts of the day look like? What most workouts of the day look like for most gyms is a strength biased program plus, right? Yeah. They'll do 3x5 or 3x3 back squat, and then they'll do maybe some skill work, and then they'll do Helen, right? A new person coming in trying to work through all that, and a coach trying to lead a class and assist a newbie is going to be lost at best, right? It's just not. It's a system set up to fail. What we do every single day is one thing. We do a workout, and then maybe we'll do, maybe once every 10 days, we'll do a strength day.
Right.
When you have the less is more approach, when you have just the workout, well, now I know I have this amount of time to get the whole class on board with what we're doing, make sure it's crystal clear, make sure everybody's moving well. And we have this level of, again, discipline within the class that everyone's moving together. Everyone has the appropriate space around them. Everyone feels safe. Everyone knows exactly what's expected of them. It's, again, that discipline is freedom from the members' side. They know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, when they're supposed to be doing it, how much time they have. And because of that, now I have the freedom to go spend a little bit of one-on-one time with this athlete. If I don't have that, if it's chaos, if it's okay, guys, we're going to do 3x5 back squats. And then when we're done with that, we're going to work on some, a little pull-up progression. And after that, we're going to do Helen. Okay. Everybody, let's go grab barbells and go. Yeah. It sounds like now I'll be able to go spend time with that athlete. You're not.
That's not,
because people are going to be lost. Yep. No one's going to know what's going on. How much time do we have to do this? Are we supposed to do this now or set up for the... If it's completely systemized and everyone knows all of the details and expectations from the beginning, you have the freedom to do a lot more within that hour. It's
really interesting. I never really thought about, like, obviously we've talked about how you guys program over there, but I've never thought about how you guys program in the context of how does it show that you care about them? Mm-hmm. How does it show that you care about the members? right? Because you kind of think program is sort of like the meat and potatoes of CrossFit, and it makes sense for the way that you do it, and it makes sense for those reasons, but it also makes sense for the other ones, for the other reasons, in that it.
People think programming is about physiological adaptations.
Yeah.
They think it has to do with, am I trying to increase my strength, power, speed, agility, coordination, actually all those things, right? Am I trying to go to the CrossFit Games or stay at the nursing home? The programming has a lot more to do with than just those factors.
Yeah.
It's going to set up the community of your gym, because the way you program is going to lead into the way you run a class. The way you run a class is going to have the number one defining characteristic of your affiliate. It's going to give the most look and feel and brand of your affiliate has to do with the way you're running your class. Are your coaches leaders, attentive, and doing their job to the utmost, or are they just doing their job to get by? Are they checking boxes or educating, entertaining, inspiring? Huge difference, huge gap between those two. If you are trying to do too much, you can't educate, entertain, inspire. You can only chaos manage.
Right. And it's sort of that makes me think of one thing that anytime you post about it on social media or anything, it kind of starts a fight of some kind, but is your belief that coaches shouldn't be sitting down while they coach. They shouldn't be drinking coffee. They shouldn't be drinking protein shake. They shouldn't be checking their text messages, stuff like that. And those are all small, but again, small being really big things, small ways that you show you don't care as much.
Right. And
it's not that somebody sitting down says, I don't care about you, as much as it says, I don't care as much as if I didn't sit down. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think that's,
absolutely.
I think that those are all really interesting ways that I've seen 100 different ways in 100 different affiliates, those little things that when you look at it with the context of like, is that the best thing that you could be doing right now? You see it all the time. You see it everywhere in 100 different ways.
Well, that's the overarching theme of pursuing excellence, right? It's not a matter of like, is this good or bad? Is this the best way we could be doing this? And if it's not, let's find out the best way and just push towards that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, like drinking coffee is not the worst thing in the world, but is it better than not drinking coffee?
Right.
Yes, for your members, it is. For you, it's not. I get that.
Yep.
Well, is you leaning against a post with your hood over your head because you're cold the best thing to do? Well, for you, it might be because you're tired and you're cold, but for your members, it's not. It shows disinterest and that you don't care as much.
Yeah.
You might care a ton. Doesn't matter. The perception is the reality of what it is.
Right. And if you do that, if you look at that sort of all those small things under the context of we're here to make sure that our members know that we care about them, and then everything kind of makes sense after that. But if you don't have that sort of that North Star, then having a coffee at the 5 a.m. class, like it's hard to know, like, is it terrible? No. Right. Is it great? No. But unless you've defined what caring is really in a way, or whatever word it is that you've decided is the thing that your affiliate is going after, it's hard to know like that specific thing, is that the right thing or not?
After you brief the class about what the workout is, you go up to the whiteboard and you start writing something down. You write down, whatever it is, tomorrow's workout, or you start writing something else down. Well, you've turned your back to the class. Is that something? It's showing to the class a level of disinterest, a level of not caring. You go over and talk to people at the front desk. You talk to your buddies at the front desk. Some of your best friend just walked in the door. So you go over, you give him a big bro hug, and you spend 20 seconds chatting with him. That is 20 seconds you're not going to get back. That's 20 seconds of making withdrawal from the class. Mm-hmm. Those are not the best things you should be doing at that time. You have to put the class and the individuals in the class above all else.